Failing is a difficult process, but if you want to succeed, you should know more about failing than other people. Failing is a kind of entry barrier to success. Because if it were easy to succeed, everybody would be doing it. If it would be easy to persevere or do the repetition, everybody would be doing it. But it's not. It's difficult. So knowing more about failure means you know more about how to succeed. Because failing means you get closer to success, especially if you look at it tactically, especially if you analyze your failures carefully and learn from it, not just doing it blindly. So knowing a lot about failing more than other people means you have paid the price of entry to the market of success. You have paid the price of success and you have paid the price of learning, because failure is actually about learning what doesn't work, what does, what brings you closer and what doesn't, and which combinations of actions, of little tidbits of actions will get you closer optimally. But even if you look at AI, you will know it's just a guessing game. It's just interpolation, extrapolation of statistical data. Or basically, it's just guessing. A bit more advanced guessing, but still you have to have a lot of repetitions in order to know what works and what doesn't, and how each contribution, each did affects or disaffect the success rate of a specific outcome you desire. So knowing more about failure means knowing more about success, and also means that you know the recipe for success. Think of it like this. When the first couple of humans tried to make soup, it probably tasted really horrible because they were probably doing it something wrong. Or perhaps the first time it was great because like beginner's luck. And then the second or third, it was horrible. And they tried to replicate and try to add something or remove something. Think about it. Just like, I don't know, making pizza or whatever, or making a beautiful painting. Doesn't matter. It means you have to do a repetition in order to achieve your goal. And you have to fail in order to know what not to do or what to do in a specific way. Because those are just opposite side of the coin of success or failure. That's the opposite side. So you cannot succeed without failure. All the great stories being told in the movies are actually just stories. If you really listen closely, the screenplay actually hints at the success. Because for the screenplay, for the movie, you have to have the hero, the obstacle, the transformation, and then the success. So you know that the hero fails before he succeeds. You also know that you have to fail, you have to learn and not know in school in order to get the better grade, in order to pass the exam, to succeed. But sometimes we forget about that. Sometimes we just focus on the negative. Or as the Stoic said, the Seneca, we suffer more in our minds than we do in reality, which can perhaps adhere to this situation, saying, we perhaps suffer more in our failure than we actually do. We perhaps think about our failures too much in the negative sense and not so much in the positive sense of what we can learn from it. We dwell and lose time for a pity party, feeling sorry for ourselves, not dissecting what we did, how we did this differently, and how the outcomes slightly varied, or how we changed so many things that we don't even know which things would affect the result, but the result actually stayed the same. So we have to now change the factors, the parameters again, to see whether the outcome is not dependent on these factors, or did they cancel each other out? Because that can be both too. So failing a lot of times is the entry to success. And you should know a lot about failing, although you will never write about it except in your memoirs. But you know how you got there, and you should remember how you got there, because the next time you're going to go on a really hard and long journey, those lessons, those perseverance, those attitudes will help you along the way. Because the path will be, of course, even harder, because we take on harder and harder of what we can become and what we will become. So you should know more about failure and success because you will fail more often than you will succeed. But also, you should learn a lot before you implement the knowledge.